little
That
bit of
makes
dissonance going on for the
sense.
Halloween vibe since
I
it's
liked
now
it.
September
Yeah, almost October.
almost.
Pumpkin spice season.
That's right. I got my Starbucks right here, actually.
That song made me want to get my drip on. So
We dripping.
we dripping pumpkin spice style. So yeah. Did you know that Uncle Roger is a stand-up comedian? Do you know who Uncle Roger is?
I do
Yes.
not know who that
And
is.
yes.
Yeah, I did not know he was a stand-up comedian. He I I ran across him. He was doing like TikToks or YouTube videos where he would
Oh, he's making or yeah, I remember this guy
yeah, where he'd do food critiques and stuff.
of white
Yeah.
people trying to make non-white food. Yeah.
Right, right. One of my
Yes.
favorite was Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, yeah.
Gordon Ramsay, what do you say? He's a baller or something because he's got two.
Yeah, he used to two walks. So he was
Yeah,
using two walks. So he was a walk whore and he was
yeah,
balling and
yeah.
all of
He's a
that other
baller.
shit. It's real
He's
good.
funny.
The funniest. Yeah, it was funny on that one, but I loved to watch him just take down English people, specifically English white people, trying to make their pitiful version of fried rice.
Fried rice. Yeah, that was kind of oddly his claim to fame. I think that's where everyone heard of him. And I stumbled on him, one of his stand up routines, and there's another Asian guy in the audience, and he asked him where he's from, and the guy said Wuhan. And this must have been a newer one because he goes, "Oh, great, Wuhan! Thank you for the last 3 years." And he goes, "Why you eat bat? Why you eat that bat?" And I don't know if his accent is
Hammed up.
hammed up or not. Yeah, I don't know. And I almost start to do it not out of disrespect, but because it's amusing because the way he enunciates and stresses certain words makes it funnier. So, because I mean, comedy is all about delivery. I watch a lot of stand-up skits, like on reels and stuff like that. Just little. There's the guy Schwartz or something like that. He just makes fun of everybody. Yeah, but yeah, I didn't know that he was a. I didn't know he was a stand-up comedian. I don't know what he did. But he was just like what you'd call an internet personality, I guess.
An influencer.
Influencer, yeah.
He kind of fucked up and fell into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just kind of did the one video and then, Adam, I don't like to brag, but I am now a brand ambassador for Stinger electronics for Jeeps. They do like infotainment centers for Jeeps. And it's pretty exclusive. I had to fill out a form. It was
Yeah, I'm a brand ambassador for Herbalife too. It's a pretty exclusive club as well. If you want to buy some
Are
shakes,
you
hit me up.
guys gonna meet at a summit and negotiate shit?
we might.
Did you know you could lose weight by drinking a milkshake?
Ooh, milkshake. The last
If you're
fucking thing I
lactose
need.
intolerant, you can.
Yeah, right. It's
definitely-
because, yeah. My friend Sarah said, she said, "Hey, how you feeling?" And I said, I was like, "Oh man, it's fucking." I've been, you guys know this, but I've had a stomach virus for the last couple of days, and it's just been nasty, kind of coming and going. And she said, "Yeah." She quoted a movie, and I know that I know the quote, but I can't remember what movie it's from. The chick says, "I'm just one stomach flu away from being my ideal weight," and I was like, "Yeah, at the rate I'm fucking going, I'm going to be back down into a 29 in no time." So eating has been difficult. So, but yeah, the idea of a milkshake sounds fantastic, but my guts would be like, "Oh, okay, really? Dairy? Yeah,
Evacuate.
yeah.
Everyone
You
evacuate.
think I'm a fucking joke? You think this is a game?
Am I a clown?
Am I a clown to you? You die now." So, yeah, 'tis the season though. I've been seeing stuff about the flu. Adam and I were talking because he's been under the weather, and flu shots are coming out, and they're talking about experts are thinking we're gonna have a nasty flu season this year. Um, and then I don't, I'm not too worried. I was watching something about the Emmys or something, and they were people were bitching because nobody was wearing masks and everything. And, we're still in the middle of this pandemic. And I don't know. Do you guys, I mean, I look at the numbers, I look at the health data and the CDC stuff. And, I mean, the way, if you look at the peak and where it was at and where it's trending, I mean, do you still think we're in what you would call a pandemic?
I think I saw a news article earlier today. I can't remember which big world agency it is. I don't know if it's the WHO or who, but yeah. But
Sorry.
regardless of that, they were saying that the pandemic's almost over.
So almost. So there's still.
Yeah, it's trending in that direction. So
Gotcha.
And even if it's not, I lean pretty heavy libertarian. Like, if you don't want to get COVID at this big thing, just don't go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I am too. I'm at this point, I mean, I feel like, could it snap back boomerang? Of course it could, but I also, we've talked about this on other episodes, that you can't live like that either. Because I think, what was his name? One of the comedians, Bill Hader, was like the only one there with a mask, and people were talking about it. And come to find out, he has an autoimmune disease. They didn't disclose which one, but he's on immunosuppressants, right? So really, and this goes back to, I've said this before, I hope that we can continue to embrace mask culture. And I love when I say that in front of, I'm just going to say conservatives or whatever, and they fucking explode. Fuck that, I ain't wearing no fucking mask. I didn't say mask mandatory, Gestapo.
I love freedom until it's something I don't want to do. Then no one else should be allowed to do it.
Do it either, right? Yeah, fuck your feelings until they're my feelings. All I was saying is like in Japan, or a lot of Asian countries, China. I just want to make it not so taboo and fucking weird that if somebody's walking around in a mask, Bill Hader's got he's immunocompromised, right? So that makes sense for him to do that. And I know people that have lupus and different diseases like that. And again, it makes sense. I've got a friend whose wife has had leukemia. Again, like, it makes sense for them to protect themselves at all times. If somebody came rolling through a store in a wheelchair with no hair, frail and pale, and with a IV bag on them, and they had a mask, even the fucking Trumpsters wouldn't have anything to say about that, right? But if you appear healthy, well, fuck you, dude. If you have X-ray vision and you can look and go, their DNA is fine,
Yeah.
Everything's good, they're just pussies, then cool, good for you. But I can't, and I'm not going to judge somebody for that. But on top of that, like, I'm running around today, right? I got a stomach virus. Now, stomach viruses typically aren't passed, aerial or whatever, through the air like that. It's usually touch. But it probably wouldn't have fucking killed me to throw a mask on. But Adam has a cold right now, or the flu. If he went somewhere, I would want.
Yeah, I wear a mask. Like, even if I have just like a little sore throat and it's not COVID, I still wear a mask. And then
there you go.
I was I was at work a few months ago, I think, and I had a mask on. And someone was giving me shit about it. Like, why you got a mask on? You're fucking my wing. And I was like, because I'm sick. This is for you. If you want me to take it off and come hang over you while you work,
come over
I can.
And lick your face. And that's the thing, is that, a lot of wearing a mask, again, at least what I have read and the way I understand it, the biggest benefit of a mask is not for the mask wearer. It's the other way around, right? It's keeping your spittle in your fucking general area. It's why surgeons, think about it. Surgeons wear masks. It's not because your intestines are going to give them something, right? When they're cutting you open, it's because they don't want to spit inside your fucking intestines, sew you up with some a nice little drop of bacteria in there. Right?
Yeah, they just want to leave a baked potato in there.
Or maybe a Rolex. We don't know. So again, I hope that we have normalized that enough to where
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I went out with a mask, it was kind of scary because it's like the only time in America someone would wear a mask into somewhere is if they were robbing it.
Right.
And I was like, God, I hope I don't get fucking like tackled walking in here with a mask on.
I've got a picture of me. I was walking in the grocery store and had that exact same moment because I was out on my motorcycle. So I had the leather vest on with some patches. I've got a bandana on my head. I've got dark riding sunglasses on and a mask. Right. And I got a chuckle out of it because I was thinking, right, 2-3 years ago, I would have been cornered by security or by the cops. Like, what's up? What's going on with this get up? Which even then, fuck them. It's none of their business. There's nothing illegal about wearing a mask. It's when I take the gun out and tell everybody to put their jewelry in the bag that it becomes a crime.
And then you say JK.
JK.
Then, according to a lot of definitions, you become a suspicious person.
Yeah, suspicious person, which nowadays can end your fucking life depending on the color of your skin, especially.
He was suspicious, so I shot him 27 times.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, there's been a lot of changes, and like I said, I hope that it normalizes and that, excuse me, that people can, if they feel they need to wear a mask, they can. I mean, if you want to fight me about it in a fucking store, why are you wearing a mask, faggot? Okay, let's do this. After I beat your ass, I'm going to breathe on you and give you whatever funk it is that I am trying to keep from spreading around.
My thing is this, right? If I'm wearing a mask and someone is offended by it and they kick my ass, in a few days, I'll heal up probably, and they'll still be a fucking jackass.
Yeah, you do have a point there, sir.
I'll whip your ass. Okay.
You do have a point.
What does that prove? You're stronger than me. That doesn't make you correct about everything.
No, man. That's how it works in America.
I kicked your ass. That means you got to take the mask off from here on out.
Yeah, in America. Not America, but America. In America, that's, yeah. Hector Elizondo, I can't remember the rest of it. Camacho the third.
Elian Gonzalez, something.
Yeah, you know where I'm going with it. Yeah. So it's
I am so fucking lost right now.
You've never seen Idiocracy?
It's been forever.
Yeah, Terry Crews's character, the president. It's like Hector Elizondo, Mountain Dew, yeah. Camacho the third. So,
I did learn a fun fact about Idiocracy.
What's that?
One of my filmmaker buddies. So, in Idiocracy, everyone's wearing Crocs.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was the stupidest shoe they could find.
Yeah, at the time.
And it was failing. And then, like, by the time they wrapped up production, it had taken off. So they were wearing, like, these super, like, popular shoes.
Another fun fact about that movie that I like is that the studio was kind of basically telling Mike Judge, look, we have to have all these endorsements to pay for the movie and all that. And that annoyed him because he didn't want to do these endorsements for all these companies. And so that's why they kind of make fun of the different companies like Taco Bell and Costco and all this stuff. Is they gave him a list and he's like, oh, I can put like 26 of these in my movie. And they're like, oh, holy shit, we're going to make so much money. And he turned around and like made fun of all of them.
My favorite one was how Fuddruckers turned into butt fuckers. I did love that.
Yeah. Yeah, he just fucking went all in.
Well, the endorsements kind of play in the whole idea of the movie, right? Like this over-capitalist fucking... Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he still, whether he was making fun or not, it did make sense, the way that he did it.
So. What? I put it in the movie. What else do you want?
I was texting with a friend of mine and she says, welcome to Costco. I love you. I was like, oh my God, I'd forgotten about that. So somehow we had gotten on a fucking Idiocracy kick. So
Yeah, it's called Going Outside in 2022.
That's what I told her. I said, it's a goddamn shame that movie became a documentary, but it apparently has. It just
God, I need
boils
to
down to the
rewatch that,
fact.
man. It's been like 10 plus
Same.
years.
I was actually thinking that the other day when we were popping off back and forth about it, and I was like, I know there's more lines in there that I just can't remember. So I
The
actually watched that
millennial,
tonight.
the millennial, universal thing that you can reference, and every millennial will know what you're talking about is SpongeBob.
Yeah, that is true.
So funny, dude. You can say any line from SpongeBob, and any millennial in the room will be like, "Ha,
I get that reference.
ha, ha! I watched that as a child."
Yeah, SpongeBob was a little bit past my time. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but it was 90s. I was a little bit beyond the target target audience for it, you know. But it definitely was a phenomenon to say the least. So,
I watched it.
did you?
Oh yeah, I loved the fuck out of SpongeBob.
Yeah, dude. I honestly, I think it's probably one of the best shows ever made. Unironically,
Ironically, I love that you have to quantify things
because
by
everyone will think I'm trolling if I'm like, "Bro, fucking SpongeBob, dude. Fuck The Wire and Breaking Bad. SpongeBob's the best."
So it came out in 1999 and it ran for 13 seasons. So I mean that's fairly
And they'll
fucking.
never make any more.
Why is that?
Wasn't one of the main guys that was involved with it died? I think
Yeah, he
like
died. Hillenberg. He said he never wanted a spinoff, so as soon as he died, they made a spinoff called Camp Coral.
He did the voice for Potty the parrot, apparently. So
Oh, I didn't know Hillenberg's voice was in it.
yeah,
That's funny.
the 1961 to 2018. So
Yeah, now they got a stupid spinoff about Patrick and SpongeBob going to some summer camp thing. It's so dumb.
I just love the fact that Clancy Brown is Mr. Krabs, like that. The what was he called in the? Give me a second. In the Highlander, he was the. Damn it, I can't remember what they called him. But that will
the
always
Kurgan.
the Kurgan. That's it. Yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. So it's just like
He looked very metal in that movie.
oh yeah, he was a mean looking motherfucker, and that's kind of where my generation, 85, I think, is when that movie came out, and
Yeah, he played a badass in a lot of movies.
yeah, he always did because he's like probably six something.
Yeah, he's large and imposing.
Yeah, and he's got that deep ass voice. So to know that he plays and that he did it for 13 years, yeah, he's 6'3". So he's
Damn.
oh
And
oh
then
wow,
Tom Kenny just did everyone else.
yeah. It's interesting. He's going to be in John Wick Chapter 4. That should be fun. So
The John Wick movies are so good, dude.
they oddly are, and typically I hate when they fucking run movies out like that. You know what I mean? Like John Wick 76, and I'm like, fuck, make him stop already. But those and honestly, the Bourne movies, like the ones with Jason Bourne in them, not when they were like a Jason Bourne movie. I was like, okay, this is dumb.
Tack his name onto the end to make it sound.
Yeah, there was like Bourne Identity, and then you see the semicolon, and that's when or the colon, and that's when you know that it's something cheesy. But the ones that actually had Matt Damon in them, those were another one. They did like 3 of them, and I never got sick of them. And the John Wick movies, I think it was Doug was saying, that's the thing about Keanu Reeves is the less dialogue he has, the better he is for the movie. Mm-hmm. Like I absolutely love Constantine, and but there are parts in it where it's just like, oh, they gave him too much dialogue at one time.
Make him shut up. He's not good at talking.
Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic was another really good movie back in the day that he was in. But again, the more he talked, it was like, stop.
Personally, people can shit on it all they want. But the best movie that was ever totally suited for him was when they remade The Day the Earth Stood Still.
I was just gonna fucking say that, dude.
He owned that.
I was just gonna fucking say that. How many lines did he have in that movie, Doug?
It wasn't a shitload, but you know, the thing was he delivered he delivered all the lines that you would think an alien who was fluent in English, but didn't know how to emote, whatever else.
Mhm.
That's exactly the way he played it, and it was
Mhm.
like he was truly from another planet.
Yeah. And
And
that weird cadence he had worked.
yeah, and it's like I'm not shitting on the guy at all. It's like it's just part of him, and I enjoy a lot of his movies.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to be a Shakespearean actor. It's just not in his future. You know what I
No,
mean?
but
He could go out and do it and sell tickets,
yeah.
but would he excel at it? No, he's not fucking Patrick Stewart or anything, but Patrick Stewart is a great actor, but fucking half nuts. And Keanu seems to be, from all appearances, a pretty cool guy that you wouldn't mind having a fucking beer with.
Well, and
and he just sits there drinking.
right. And just for fun, Patrick Stewart has a net worth of about 75 million and Keanu Reeves has a net worth of about 380 million. So he doesn't care if you shit on him or not.
Yeah, pretty much. He's going to jump on his custom built motorcycle that his company made for him.
Yeah.
That's like tailored to the size of his anus and
Right.
tailbone and whatever else. And, right off into the fucking sunset. On a road paved with $100 bills.
Uh-huh. I remember when Keanu Reeves revealed that he had been dating this, I think she was an artist or is an artist, and people were bagging on her because she's not like your typical Hollywood chick, is that her? I'm trying to be nice here. Her name's Alexandra.
Keanu Reeves isn't your typical Hollywood dude either.
Right. Her name's Alexandra Grant. And I think she's actually very pretty, but she's age appropriate too. Like he's 52 or something and she's 49, and so that was some of the positive stuff that he got was, she is the same age, but people were like,
I like her.
You would, right? Yeah. But people were dogging him because she wasn't like this, siliconed up whatever. And it's like, fuck, man, a motherfucker can't win, And
dude, he's not trying to be fake, bro. He broke out of the Matrix. He's not trying to live in this artificial world anymore.
There you go. Right? I mean, he took the blue pill or red pill. Fuck, I can't remember.
Well, that's the thing, man. I mean, honestly, you can be at that level and you've got so many people that are hangers on, so many people that are after your money. And I imagine there are a legion of gold digging whores, as Bill Burr would call them, that would come over the mountaintop and mount him in front of whoever. But beyond all of that, you can only fuck so long. And if you find another person interesting, compelling, and you can be best friends with that person, hey, everything else is just fucking gravy.
Well, and I think when you're a real human being, right? You're not looking. A lot of these Hollywood folks, they're looking for that. I remember reading something once about, can narcissists date narcissists? And what's funny about that is it's actually very common. And they were listing like Hollywood power couples as one of the prime examples, or like political couples and stuff like that. And you go and you see these Hollywood power couples that have been together for a few years, and it's like, oh my God, Brennifer or whatever the fucking they call them. And then you find out behind the scenes that, right, you like that?
Brennifer or whatever.
Whatever. And then you find out behind the scenes they fucking hated each other and, all this stuff. But it's good for their publicists and it's good for their managers and all that. So, and I think that's what a lot of these, I think that's a lot of what happens. So you get a guy who's like, I don't give a fuck and I'm worth $380 million and, I have more money than I could spend. He doesn't care about what other people think of his dating choices, you know? So yeah,
He's probably
fucking,
already banged them all. Like he's probably like got the whole, you know,
I don't know. He
the
doesn't seem
whole
like the type.
horny dating, dating just for your dick thing out of his system by now.
I think he was always one of those guys that like, and I grew up with guys like this that they fell in love and that they were more like women in that regard. Stereotypically, I should say, more like
Wow.
women. So,
Wow.
wow,
I
Dan.
am
Wow.
fucking, I'm writing that down, bro. I'm going to email him.
You're more like a woman, Keanu. Um, I mean, I had this guy in one of our bands, pretty much last band I was in, and he, fuck, every time he got a piece of ass, he was in love, and this was the one. This was the one. Everyone was, and we used to tell him that. We were like, yeah, so was the last one. No, man, nah, you don't understand. This one's the one.
This one's like for real different, bro.
Yeah, it was fucking exhausting. So
This one's for real.
I'm all about people finding people and dating and things like that, and that's great. But you don't have to fall in love with all of them. I made a joke. I've actually had a couple of dates off of Tinder, and some have gone okay, some have been whatever. Haven't had like a shitty one. I read the Tinder horror stories, and I haven't had one of those. But I like to think I'm a decent enough judge of character that I can avoid that. But
You're a dude.
and I'm a dude. Uh, Sorry.
Most of the Tinder horror stories I hear is the dude being fucking nuts.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of why I was laughing. I was thinking of one of the TikTok channels I was watching, and that's all she does is kind of goes over some of the shit that these dudes say in messages. And um, I've actually last few weeks I've been talking to a woman, and we've gone out a couple of times and taken it super fucking slow on purpose. And we were at our first date. And first, like, in-person date, it was going pretty good. We changed venues because mosquitoes and having a drink. And she says, yeah, I'm about to make this real awkward. And I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, real awkward, she
She
says.
pulls a gun out.
Yeah, she whips her penis out. And I'm like, now I have decisions to make. She says, do you want my real phone number? And I was like, oh, yeah, please. And I don't know why. Maybe somebody in the past has like freaked out over that, but she had given me a Google number. Basically, we went from the app, and we decided it was pretty clear we were getting along. We were going to go out. So she said, well, here's my number, and so we started texting. And I just thought that was funny, but and I gave her a little bit of shit for it, just as part of the fun. And she says, dude, if you only knew the things that people have said to me. She's like, one guy said he wanted to put a baby in me. Another guy said he wants to watch me fuck other dudes. And I'm like, does this work for people? Like,
Well, I mean, if that's what you want to do, right? Why waste time?
just get it out there,
Just
right?
say, here's what I want to do.
But so then
Right?
that means that, so there are chicks out there that are just like, fuck yes, put a baby in me.
Yeah, almost all of them.
Oh,
When you said she was going to say something awkward, I think you were gonna, thought she was gonna whip out something really weird, like "I want to taste your butthole" or something.
right? Like, do you eat a lot of pineapple, Dan? Yeah. So I thought that was funny. And then after she did that, I said, "Now can I ask something?" I made it very over dramatic, and she goes, "You want to know my last name?" I was like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." I said, "I can't stand unfinished contacts in my phone. I hate just first names." So she gave me her last name, but it's been, like I said, we've just been going really slow, and not trying to smash our faces into each other constantly and stuff. And it's different for me. It's changed the paradigm in the way that I have dated in the past. But like I told my therapist, hey, look at me now, I'm single, which technically means that none of my relationships have been permanent. So why not change up the way that I'm doing things a little bit? Ain't hurting nothing. Uh, so I love when people date and find each other and stuff like that. But yeah, you don't have to fall in love with each and every one of them, and that goes on both sides, men and women. You know, what'd you find funny there, Adam?
I have friends that are like that as well. That's
Uh-huh.
all. Just so
We all
funny.
do. We've all got them.
Nah, dude, I'm serious, bro. This is the fucking one, dude. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, this is the one.
This
You
is
know, I
this
would
chick's different.
encourage people to. It's sort of like your idea that you had put out before you go out with someone, masturbate.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
but I would say this. It's like before you go out and start dating people to find someone that you think completes you and is part of the fairy tale story and is going to make you happily ever after, I would suggest you stay home
Mm-hmm.
and work the fuck on yourself. And when you are okay with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
then go out and engage with other people.
Yeah,
And
everything
if
you
you
said
find
terrified me.
that you don't have anything to be gained on the outside, fuck
Mm-hmm.
it. Do you be happy?
And I think I think you just kind of hit the nail on the head there about it's if you're feeling like you need something to complete you, that other human being is not it. Now that's not to say that when you're around somebody you don't feel better. That's not to say that when you're around somebody you feel like you're a better person. Doug and I have had this conversation. When I was married, I used to always say that my ex-wife made me a better person. And Doug said, no, she didn't. And I'm like, yeah, she did. I did this and I got my career together and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. He agreed with everything I said. I said, I did all these wonderful things. He says, yes, you did. He said, you did those things. He said, maybe she was your impetus for it, but she didn't do that for you. She didn't make you that way. You made you that way. And I was like, well, fuck. And that has stuck in my head forever since because it's accurate. And I would argue with anybody. The more you argue with me that no, this person makes you a better person, I would argue even harder that no, you've done that. You put the work in. You made the changes. What the reasoning, people do that for their kids a lot. People say, I know guys that have had kids and I thought, oh shit, and they had the kid and completely did a 180. And like, holy shit, man, this dude really got his shit together. Well, the child didn't do that for them. They did that. Maybe the child was the impetus. The child was the thing that they looked at and said, hey, I really care about this child. And that's what I do with my ex-wife. I really cared about my ex-wife. So I made changes to be more of what I thought she wanted me to be. Obviously, it didn't work out. I don't necessarily regret a lot of the decisions I made, but over the last couple of years, I have been the impetus for that. I have been the person that I'm trying to be better for. You know, um, anyone else that just comes in is. I told her on our second date that what I'm really looking for is um, someone that is a friend that I have fun with that wants to get naked with me once in a while and has my back when life gets weird. And other than the getting naked part, that's how I feel about all of my friends. I mean, yeah, sorry, bud. That was a
Yeah.
one time deal.
Put my pants back on.
Yeah, if you
Give me
would,
1 second.
that's kind of embarrassing there. I mean, and that's impressive, but still kind of embarrassing. There's a that's I'm not looking, as Doug was rattling that off. He's like, your fairy tale, whatever. I'm just like cringing over here, like, oh God, no, no, no. All of that, it's just like a giant, it's one red flag after another. Um, I think I told one of you guys, I made the joke that um, when I was younger, if you had boobs, I fell in love. And now it's, I don't like the way she pronounces her vowels, you know. Um, and I think that's just part of the just normal fight or flight mechanism that we all have. We've all got dating scars. We've all got relationship scars. And
Nah, I don't.
nah, you're about
Everyone
as
except for me. Yeah,
nah, you're
I'm
about
well
as
adjusted.
well adjusted as they come. I mean, if you are the pinnacle by which I measure everyone else. Um, I mean, that guy's in good emotional shape, but he's no
Yeah,
Adam Lester.
when they create the DSM, they use me as the baseline for sanity.
For that's hard to even keep up with. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's the whole thing is do the best you can to be a complete person for you. You may make
Yeah.
changes in your life for this person or that person, but they should always be towards your betterment, not towards your downfall. And
Absolutely.
that's what you did with Alicia. That's
Yep.
that's it worked, and that's why it worked for several years. She didn't want to put you down. She kind of wanted to, sort of help lift you up and help you realize, a little bit more of who you wanted to be until your life path started to diverge. You know,
Yeah, and I think that the whole point is the detrimental. I'm going to date someone and have fun as long as I feel like it's healthy. I mean, and that's the difference though, is that now I know much better what healthy is and what healthy isn't. Let me go close this patio door because of my fucking
Why?
neighbors and their dogs.
No, I like that.
Yeah, I don't, and I love dogs, but fuck that dog.
so the dog is disruptive, but the plane shit the other day was fine.
Yeah.
When it sounded like they were landing in your apartment, not to mention the Suckmaster 9000.
And he said, "Yeah, yeah, I got my window open. I got several windows open. No
Yeah,
big deal.
yeah, no big
We're
deal.
just doing bombing runs at my house with an F-16."
Fucking doing dive bombing. Oh my god.
Are you
Yeah,
enjoying
that was
yourselves?
tolerable. That was
Yes.
tolerable, but not the dogs.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
mind the planes so much. The planes didn't bother me, but that fucking dog, dude, all day, all night, they just
Well, bro, you know
these
how I was
ugh.
over here, dude. I'm so glad my neighbor moved and took her fucking dogs.
Yeah, the two little yap dogs. I
Yeah, she
remember.
would get sick of listening to him, so she put him out on the porch so we could all hear him.
I think that's what this guy does. He's got this probably 100 pound, maybe more American bull. Beautiful dog. But that's right. He just leaves him out on the patio and the dog
Yeah,
just says that bark, 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 bark. And I'm like, what are you doing?
maybe he's broken.
I
Maybe the dog has some sensory issues, or like maybe he doesn't. He doesn't. I don't know. I don't know why he would just constantly bark.
typically it's a not fear response, but like they're
Like an anxiety thing.
yes, anxiety. There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're letting you know. And I don't know why, but I don't know why they stick him out on they've got a
So they don't
balcony.
have to hear. Bro, you could put him out there, and the way the apartment's set up, then you could go to the bedroom and you don't hear him.
Yeah, and you wouldn't hear him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he does that inside. But again, get a dog trainer, get, sedatives, do what you
You
need to
need to call
do.
Caesar Milan over.
There you go. Caesar Milan.
Get
The
a
dog
fucking
Milan.
whisperer.
thunder shirt for fuck's sake.
There you go. Figure out whatever it is
Wait, what?
that's antagonizing the dog.
What is that? A thunder shirt?
Thunder shirt?
Yeah, it's like a compression garment that you put on them,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird because like dogs don't like it when you hug them because that's what dogs do to other dogs before they attempt to engage in non-consensual sex. But for some strange reason, the thunder shirt, supposedly because of the compression, makes them feel more at ease.
Interesting. It's like a weighted blanket, but it's
Yeah.
on them all the time.
Yeah. Basically the same thing. So now you know why I hug you sometimes. So
But why do you hump me when you hug me?
just habit, I guess.
That
You
doesn't
know?
make me feel safe.
No, but it makes me feel better.
Okay, good.
So
Good. That's all that matters.
you're doing me a favor, and that's the important thing. So
They are called sexual favors.
there you go. The old friends with benefits. Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah. Yeah, that's why I put Doug on my life insurance.
Hell yeah.
Friends with benefits.
Friends with
Jesus
benefits.
Put
Christ.
him on my dental too.
I knew her. I see. I caught that one. I actually tried to put Doug on my life insurance.
I remember that.
And because we work for the same company, it flagged it, and I had to like contact our HR department and stuff. I never did finish that up, and I thought that was funny, and I wondered what the reasoning for that was. And one of the jokes that we had come up with was like, you could, I mean, we'd say joke, but I think maybe it could happen if I was like your manager or something, and I was like, hey, put me on your life insurance, and I'll give you the
Give
job.
you a raise. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's a huge company. It doesn't work that way, but I don't know what the reasoning was. And like I said, I think I sent an email and then never followed up on it. I need to do that because right now my parents are my beneficiaries, and the last thing I want is for them to benefit from me dying. Um, so um, I would assume would rather a fucking random stranger get it. So
Yeah, I think my mom is on mine. I think.
yeah, and that would make sense, right?
Yeah, definitely didn't put my dad on there. Mainly because you have to know the address of the person you're putting on there.
That's all right, Adam. We're your gay dads.
Yeah, we're your gay
Thank you.
dads. Don't worry about that.
We're your heterosexual gay dads.
But I don't. I. What does that mean?
Well, Dan and I are heterosexual life partners.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, it makes sense to me. All right.
Yeah, he loves to tell people that. Just random fucking people. Like the last time I went to go find a fucking apartment,
Oh, he's done that to me before in
And like,
public.
I'm his heterosexual life partner. This is why I can't get laid, Doug. Right here. This is why. No.
Yeah, that because you always drag me along. Hi, this is my third wheel, Doug.
Third wheel.
And I'm like, Dan is totally my heterosexual life partner.
He does. That's
Yeah,
exactly what he does.
and-
In that
and-
voice, too.
Yeah, I do.
He does.
And then I
It's
get a
true.
drink with an umbrella
does.
in it, and then I sit there and twirl it,
He does.
while I make judging looks at
I make judgy looks, right? I wish I did have some decent gay friends. Damn it! I could use the style. I could use a shoulder to cry on. I'm just saying.
not all gay people have style.
No,
I
I know.
promise.
I've known some very butch gay dudes that had the shitty apartment and their car was a mess, and and then I've known some very and again we're digging into stereotypes today. I've known some very feminine, girly. Hell, as a matter of fact, two friends that I have now that are both lesbians, you would never know. There's no flannel, no Subaru. Her and her wife do love Colorado, and I tease them that this is their land out here.
no janitor style keychain or anything.
No janitor style keychain. The first lesbian that I knew that came out to me was a woman that she was a manager at the Red Lobster that I worked at. She was an assistant manager, and she was the girliest little sweetest thing in the world. And I think I was hitting on her, and she's like, "Oh, I forget." She didn't say boyfriend or girlfriend. I don't remember what she used, but she said she was. She said I'm actually dating the head cook up at I think she said Polaris location or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I stopped because the head cook at that location was a woman. And I said, wait a minute. The head cook up there is, and I said her name, Beth or whatever, and she said, mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay.
No, I remember
You
you
know,
telling me about her because, like, you said that for your birthday one year, she got you like a Timex, and you said this wasn't what I meant when I said I want to watch.
Oh, Jesus.
cricket yourself. That is kind of funny, though. That's not what I meant, though.
I appreciate it. It's really nice, but it's
Right.
not quite what I meant.
My other friend, she worked. I worked IT at a company she worked at, and had no idea. And we just got to talking, and she says, "I don't know why I feel like telling you this, but I'm gay." And I was like, "Cool." And she goes, "Yeah, I think that's why I was okay telling you." It was the shop we worked in. It was very conservative, and I think she was worried about people finding out. I She got married and moved on to another company, and a lot of the employees were really cool with her and everything. But yeah, she's right. Management was very very conservative, and they would have, oh, we embrace everything here, right? But she'd have never got a raise. She'd have never got a promotion. That would have been the fucking end of it. Um, I've had a lot of people come out to me, and they always say the same thing. That whole, I don't know why I feel like I want to tell you this, but that has been going on. I was having this conversation with somebody. That has been going on with me since I was a teenager. People would tell me things and say, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but, and I'm fairly nudge judgmental. I'm fairly
Very nunchuck
non-judgmental.
mental.
Yeah, words hard. Uh, I think I'm fairly non-judgmental about how people live their lives. Like, I don't care how you treat other people, how that's the whole thing. Like with politics, is that I don't believe in this, so you're not allowed to do it either. And this goes on both sides, right? I don't understand that. If you don't believe in it, if your religion or your beliefs or your whatever say that you can't do a thing, then don't do the thing. The end. And then you don't go to hell or.
Yeah, God will sort that shit out. We don't need to pass legislation.
That's what I used to tell people all the time. Hey, man, if God is against homosexuals, he'll figure that out. He'll take care of that. I ain't here to do that. I really feel like being an atheist or agnostic or whatever you want to fucking call it has really made me a better person. Because I don't have that leash on me of hell, of if you do something bad, you'll go to hell. And I saw a quote the other day that I really liked, and it said, some of you need to quit walking around with the gospel in your mouth and hell in your heart. And I just feel like most Christians I know are like that. Boy, they're the first ones to tell you what God wants. But then you watch how they live their life, but then they'll justify it. That's the thing that fucks me up so bad, is how people can justify their bad behavior. And I'm over here beating myself up for shit that I've done. And you got these folks out here just justifying everything, talking shitty to people and being shitty to people. And, oh, I go to church on Sunday. Okay.
I think there's like a safety net mental like mechanism for people that like go to church, and it's like they feel more entitled to do bad shit because they feel like they're gonna go to heaven either way.
Because they've been saved, and God knows they're not perfect, but they believe in him and they worship him. So right, it'll be okay if they do bad things because he'll forgive them. That's exactly how I feel about it when I sit back and I watch. I saw something, and one of you guys may have sent it to me, about why a lot of your right wing conservative Christians are so easy to convince of these wild conspiracy theories. And the psychologist went on to say that, basically they've been they've been indoctrinated, since they love that word so much. They've been indoctrinated to believe what they've been told just on faith, and you don't question it. That's just how they've been taught their whole lives.
That's a good point. Because I said so is a valid explanation for a lot of like conservative Christian like things.
Yep. Because
Well,
Because I said so.
yep.
when you start digging into the way people learn, and then you've got the most people will hear something from what they consider to be a reputable authority figure. Um, they tend to borrow ideas from that, and then when
Mhm.
you have a church or other venue, then those are perpetuated by the people that are in there. So it's natural that it's
Yeah.
going to have an influence.
Yeah.
There's some that are good, there's some that are bad, and there's some that are seriously fucked up. And it
Yes, sir.
and it becomes it becomes like a sort of a cult where
Hmm.
the philosophy is perpetuated and repeated, and but it just gets nasty. But there's if you can look at any large institution like that and then see similar tendencies all over the place. But and it's kind of the same thing that you see on Facebook with people getting in with groups with people that agree with them.
Hmm. The
And
echo
the
chamber.
right. And when you put someone inside of an echo chamber like that, you can have somebody that goes in with a completely different set of beliefs. And once you sit there in that echo chamber for long enough,
Hmm.
regardless if you had the opposite belief going in, you start to see some of what they would consider their point start filtering through your thinking.
Yeah, they've done studies. Universities have done studies on that, and I'll try to look that up at some point and show you guys. But they've done studies on watching people, like you said, they get in those echo chambers, and then their own beliefs start to change because you are, in fact, indoctrinated.
Yeah.
So I said,
And
I
it's not necessarily just like people with like lower IQ or
IQs,
whatever. It's just
no.
like a human thing. Like I started
No,
getting into like I was like what, like why do these crazy people think the way they do? I started checking out shit on some alternative streaming platforms that are uncensored and whatever. And it's all just a bunch of neo Nazis basically.
Hmm.
And I was like, I need to stop watching this shit, bro.
Hmm.
Like this shit's fucking very strange, and
Well, and
it's
if
just
if if
it's an
there's
echo chamber
one,
more than anything else. Even
if
though
there's no, if there's one sesame seed sized thing that rings true with you, that's all it needs. Like
yeah,
that's
and then they
that.
extrapolate that one little thing
There
out
you
to this
go.
huge, yeah,
Right, right.
but
I mean, I grew
but
up in Northeast Ohio cornfields and cows, and I believed all the racist bullshit, stereotypical bullshit, because it's what I was raised in. Now I look back at it and I'm embarrassed by it. I'm not. I don't. I don't feel guilty for it, but I'm definitely kind of like, wow, that was dumb. So, but it was an echo chamber at the time.
yeah,
So,
and there is a reason. There's a very specific reason why. And if you want to really, really, and truly indoctrinate people into something, you get them young. You get them very young
yep.
when they are, young
Bible
people
school.
are full of questions in the whole nine yards. But once you instill, it's like, well, for instance, That's what Bill Burr was talking about in God. It's the special that he did in black and white when he was
Doug
talking
loves
about.
him some Bill Burr, by the way.
Dude,
I
I
do.
love Bill Burr.
And you bring them in young when you know they're not questioning things, when you've still got the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus and they believe
Right.
all of those things, and then they get older and all of those things fall away, but the one thing that stuck was the religion.
Mm-hmm. And your sexual predators do the same thing, right? They talk about grooming, and I love it's just there's all these terms like grooming and indoctrination. But then when you get to Christianity and your kids are going to Bible school and they're never given the opportunity to think any differently, well, that's just good old fashioned faith.
Yeah.
So, and on that note, I have faith that I need a candy bar. Like a Milky Way or Three Musketeers. What's your favorite candy bar, Doug?
That depends. Because I like Score, I like Snickers, I like Butterfingers, occasionally a
Snickers are good.
Twix.
Ooh, Twix are good. 100 grand. 100 grand are good.
Yeah, those are
Payday
really
is my
good.
favorite one.
Payday's a good one.
Payday's a good bar.
Payday's a good one.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. I just felt like that was important for our listeners to know what our favorite candy bars were. Yeah.
I think Adam needs to play us 3 minutes and 50 seconds of outro music. Or
You'll get to hear the key change.